So today I get to see Everett and Grace, and it's pretty exciting, but it's also really stressful because I only get to see them once a month, and the car that I bought here in Hawaii isn't super reliable, and so it's like that kind of thing where, you know, there's so much stress to get there and to show up on time and to have everything just perfect for them, because I only get to see them once a month. So you really want to make a really positive impression, you know? So I've got all kinds of fresh organic fruit. I got a pineapple and a watermelon and a mango and like a serving trays and a cutting board and a knife. And I got this really delicious looking chocolate croissant. And of course, I got their new Nintendo, which I think they're going to be super pumped on. But what's weird is, I mean, it's only once a month, so it's like all summer in a day, you know? That old Kurt Vonnegut sci-fi story, you know? It's where they lock the kid in the closet when they get to go outside only once a year. It's like, if anything goes wrong, I don't get to see my kids for a whole nother month. And this month, it would probably be a whole nother 2 months, because I'm going to go on tour with the Leprechauns in March. So it's like just super stressful to get there, to show up. So, I mean, as a result, you know, I didn't really sleep that well last night. You know, the anticipation of getting to see my kids is like, you know, makes it hard to sleep. And then, of course, I get up way too early, and, you know, I've had my coffee and everything, and there's just so many things I want to do with them and tell them. And, you know, I've got an hour and a half. So in that 1 hour and a half, I've got to tell them and do everything that I can with them as their dad. And it's just, it's not enough time, and it's not fair to them, and it's not fair to me. And just the overall system is so messed up. I mean, how can this happen to people like me, to people like my kids, you know? The three of us have done nothing wrong to anybody, and we're just being punished over and over and over again for years now. It's been 2 years of brutal parental alienation and punishment, and it's just like, you know, for what? But why? Our system is very broken. The default policy should be 50-50 custody, unless somebody's like, you know, provably endangering the children, or, you know, test positive for heroin or something. It should just be 50-50 custody every time. It's just gross that that's not the case. You know, and right now I'm working with a lot of tourists and talking to a lot of people from other countries, and they're all like just completely shocked when they hear the details of my story. They're like, that would not happen in Australia. That would not happen in Japan. That would not happen in Russia. That would not happen in Germany. That would not happen in China. That would not happen in Korea. Like, only here in America can a father and his children just be brutally punished for no reason by somebody who just, you know, is trying to maximize a payment. It's just, our system encourages bad behavior. Our system encourages child abuse. And it's unconstitutional. You know, in family court, there's no jury of your peers. It's just one judge summarily saying, nah, whatever, and just moving your paperwork from one side of his desk to the other. He doesn't care. He doesn't know you. He doesn't know your kids. He doesn't know your ex. He doesn't know anything about anything. And he just wants to get you in and out of his courtroom as quick as possible. And it's just so unfair. It's so unfair to me, and it's so unfair to my children, that they've just been dragged from state to state to state, you know, to go from military base to military base, you know, with and how much their quality of life has lowered. I mean, they used to live on a farm that they owned, where they could go and pick fresh strawberries and collect fresh eggs and fresh blackberries and raspberries and blueberries and kiwis and apples and Asian pears and onions and garlic and And now to just live in, you know, military housing, just being fed, you know, Burger King and McDonald's, it's just like, and there's nothing I can do about it. There's literally nothing I can do about it. I mean, I've sunk almost $200,000 into trying to help my kids until I just had no more money. And now, even if I make money, they're just gonna take it from me and give it to her. So it's like, and what's she gonna use the money on? Hiring more lawyers to continue to screw me and my kids? It's like, the system is so broken, so inherently broken, so inherently flawed. And that's why we're having a march on April 25th. And I hope that everybody who cares about kids goes out and marches to protest parental alienation, because this is a situation that millions of parents and millions of kids in this country are facing. And it's wrong. It's wrong. It's systemic child abuse, systemically state-sponsored child abuse. And, you know, there's got to be a better way. I mean, there is a better way. There's, what, 500 countries on the planet? None of them are doing it the way we're doing it. It's the worst possible scenario. I don't know. Maybe there's some countries doing it slightly worse than us out there. I mean, there are 500 countries, but we're doing it pretty badly. And it needs to change. And it's so unfair. It's so wrong. But on the plus side, I get to see Everett and Grace today. Exhausted, no sleep. I mean, look at my eyes, you know? Stressed out, trying to make sure that I get there like way early. And then I'm always way early because, you know, God forbid something goes wrong, you know, I get in a car wreck or whatever, and then bam, I just don't get to see him for 2 months or whatever. And then the people at the visitation place are always like, you know, they always keep you to arm's length because, I mean, you have a restraining order against you. So they have to assume that you're some kind of danger, even though, you know, at least in my case, I have no criminal record whatsoever. I did recently get a parking ticket. So I am now actually a criminal on one level. I have a parking ticket. I haven't had a parking ticket or anything like that in like years. But I did recently get a parking ticket. So I used to say, I don't even have a parking ticket, but now I do have a parking ticket. So yeah, pretty hardened mafioso style criminal. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. It's just, I get to see Everett and Grace today. I get to give them a Nintendo. Hopefully I get to give them all this amazing organic fruit and the chocolate croissant, which might not be that healthy, but I do want to give them a treat. It's also Valentine's Day coming up pretty soon, and so I kind of figured the chocolate croissant was kind of Valentine's-y. Alright, Internet fam. Love you all. I especially love you, Everett and Grace. I don't know when you're going to get to see these. Probably when you're much older, but I'm going to put them on the internet, leave them on there so you can see them when you're older, so you can understand what I was going through this whole time. And why you weren't allowed to see your dad this whole time. Except for once a month for an hour and a half under supervision. Despite the fact that your dad has no criminal record whatsoever other than a parking ticket. hard criminal with his parking ticket. Yeah, not that funny. Alright, love you all, Internet fam. Have a great day. Happy Valentine's Day.